Jeffrey is an ass. He's that loud drunk motherfucker in the pub. You could probably take him in a fight, but it would be risky. So what do? I've always been a very anxious guy. I've went through some traumatic shit. I've been attacked on the street. I've had guys literally try to stab me because they thought I was a terrorist. And all through this time, I would research online on how to stay safe. And the number one most bull answer that people would give me is call the police. Run away. That probably won't save you, and if you've lived quite a sheltered life, you might not even know the reality of the things that can happen to you when someone wants to hurt you. Adonis keeps his tribe safe. With will, strength, and courage, Adonis fends off the opposition. The tribe leader looks after his loved ones. And because of this, Adonis's tribe flourishes. Your perception of someone trying to hurt you if you've lived like a very normal middle-class white life is probably very, very wrong. What you see in movies, and especially the shit that you kind of see in those self-defense videos where it's like the guy's gonna show you how to defend from a knife, and the attacker comes in with the knife and the guy goes ha ha ha, does this bullshit like he's got the knife in his hand. He's like, see, I told you I could get this. Shut the f up, bro. That shit's dangerous. Anxiety and PTSD is very weird. And after the Manchester bombing, when a couple of guys tracked me down and cornered me in the train station, and one of the guys eventually was arrested with a 11-inch 14-inch knife. I had this weird obsession with watching people get stabbed. So I literally remember I would be in work and I would just be scrolling on some of those pages on the subreddits on Reddit, which watch people die, and it'd be a live CCTV footage of someone getting attacked, someone getting stabbed. Because it's not how it seems in the movie, where it's a proper argument and then the guy in slow motion punches him and the hero saves the day in this bull the self-defense class, and the guy's gonna come with a knife and he's like, oh, I'll stab you, mate, or something, and he stabs him like this, nice and slow, so the guy can save him. It doesn't happen like that. The time that it may happen to you, there isn't gonna be a warning. With the videos that I watched, there was never a full-on oh,
we're gonna fight, me and you, do you engage in this duel?
It's not like that. One random video, there's two guys who are just walking through the street. It's nighttime. They're literally just walking. They're going past a group of guys, and out of nowhere, one of the guys of this group stands up, punches one of the guys, he falls down, he's dead already. With stabbings, it's not how it is in the movie where you just have to defend him once. Every time that you'll see it on the news, if they actually go into the gory details, or if you watch some of these up videos, no one gets stabbed once. The guy who's trying to stab you, who's trying to murder you, is not going to try and push once and then run away. They go in and out, in and out, in and out, and the police won't save you in this. The time when this racist motherfucker had a knife on him, he kept on coming close to me, reaching into his fucking waistline. The police didn't come. Someone on the train, when we were on the train, someone literally rang the police. Another person texted the police. They told me this shit, right? The police didn't come to the train station. If my dad wasn't there, my dad literally saved the day, they might have me up. They might have stabbed me or murdered me. The police didn't show up. They got arrested, which is, that's fantastic, fair enough. That was afterwards. It was half an hour afterwards. There's been multiple times. It's always in a train station for me, mate. I literally have PTSD and shit. It's the same train station that it always happens in. Multiple times happened there, and every single time I followed the advice. I called the police. There was one time about a year and a half ago, I went on my first date with the girl that I would end up dating, named Eve, the little ginger girl you've seen on old videos. We go on our first date, and I'm going into the train station. She's getting picked up by a friend, so we're inside the train station, and we hear some drunk guy just talking or making noises, or he's shouting or something. So this is kind of silly of me. We don't see him, right? We're in the alleyway of the train station, but I kind of shout yeah, what's up, bro, something like that, and this motherfucker starts screaming shit, bro. So obviously I shouldn't have said anything, but you wouldn't have expected, if you hear some people just making noise on a Friday evening or something, and you have that certain type of personality, you'll make noise with them anyway. But this motherfucker must have thought it was a challenge or something. So we leave the train station, but of course I've got to get the train, so I'm literally getting anxious thoughts, and I go up to the train, to the actual station, the platform, and this scouse motherfucker is just it's the exact same train station, man, but this motherfucker, yeah, he just looks at me, he's like, what, you want to your fuck, it's just starting out of nowhere. No, so I almost in a disinterested way, I kind of just he's, he says oh, what are you looking at, or anything like this. I said no one's looking at you, and I just walk off, and he starts screaming. I walk to the other end of the train station, I call 999. I'm scared, I feel like a little pussy following this advice, but everyone's told me to call 999, and this motherfucker might stab me, and I've got PTSD from this exact same train station where I was almost stabbed last time, and nothing happens. We both get onto the same train. He goes onto the upper end of the train, I go to the bottom end. He could have walked up, he could have had a weapon, nothing happened. The police didn't show up. Now I stepped off. Yeah, I was fine in the end. He he could have come towards me, but he didn't. You've got to know the reality that the police won't just show up when some bullshit happens. And the advice of like, yeah, run away, create some distance, fantastic. Okay, if you can run away, absolutely do it. But leaving the advice, I've said this before in a video where I've said like how to win a street fight. I've said that young men are literally fearing for their safety and all they're told is run away. And that's bullshit, because a lot of these times you simply can't, whether you're in an environment that's like packed with people. So in a lot of like altercations that I've had have been in like nightclubs, and it's always like alcohol related, and you simply cannot run away. You can like, you know, try to like swim past the people around you, but you're gonna get hit in the back if you do that. Sometimes you're with other people and sometimes you freeze. Honestly, like there's 4 responses to scary things that can happen, and people only know the 2. There's fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And I feel like a lot of us are the freeze and fawn type. I am the freeze and fawn type. Like the freeze is obviously, it's common sense, you literally just like freeze, you just like panic, you don't move. The fawn type is very interesting. This is kind of a side note, but I'll teach you it anyway. The fawn type is when you had somewhat like abusive parents, and after they were like screaming at you, you kind of knew that the only way to like get their love back was like, you know, to like get close to them again and like really, really help them again. So it's this idea of like the person who's attacking you, you're trying to like be nice to them. There's like some old like children's story of like animals or whatever it is, and one of the animals is bullying the other one, and then the little animal says like, oh, but like you've got this like splinter inside of your leg, I'll help you. Like that's the fawn type. So if you're like a who helps the bully you, you're probably the fawn type. That's a side note, but I guess it's kind of interesting. I'm the freeze type. I freeze up until I fight. Now I envy the motherfuckers who can just flight. I envy those guys. I have never felt the capability to run away in these situations. I want you to literally visualize this right now, because you might be the flight type and that's sick for you, you'll be safe, but I literally want you to visualize not one of these movie scenarios. I want you to visualize that you're literally just like, you're walking, you've just met a girl on like the first date, and you're walking together, and out of nowhere someone comes in and hits you. There's no like fucking like preemptive talk with this type of shit. Like of course there could be, but generally if someone wants to hurt you, someone wants to mug you, it's not this case of like they'll point the knife at you, be like, oh, give me everything in your pocket. That's not how muggings work, bro. That's not how muggings work. That's what you've seen in movies, like, oh with the gun they'll give me everything. That's not what they do, bro. They'll come up and hit you first when you're on the floor, then they'll take your shit. They don't just, it's not like a fucking like Final Fantasy 7 game where we both have turns. And so it's of utmost importance that you train, that you learn how to fight, because you should run. And I have to keep giving this disclaimer because some is gonna come to the comment, but you know the best way to win a fight is to run. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's a pussy who hasn't been in this real scenario, because we know if you can run away. If you can create distance. But there's a lot of times where you can't. And one of the most important things that you can do is already have experience of getting hit in the face. Join a martial arts club and do the sparring sessions there and fight some of their good fighters. And of course, like they're good fighters if they're like good people. They won't like batter you, they won't like, you know, just knock you out or anything, but they will test you. They will be like tapping you on the nose and everything. You will feel pain and they'll hit you in the stomach and everything. Fight those guys, spar those guys. Once you've sparred the best fighter in your club, you feel different. And of course this could be a level of confidence and ego that might not be helpful, because you know the guy that you go and fight in the street isn't a good fighter, but then he has a knife. But at the very least, if you've got the experience of being punched in the face multiple times, it won't shock you as much. The average person hasn't even been like touched by like a random stranger in the street. He's never done any kind of martial arts. He's like punched a boxing bag like 3 times with his friends one time that he went to like some random bullshit club. And what's so interesting is that if we all learned to fight, there would be less fights. There would be a lot less street fights and violence if a lot of young men went to learn how to fight. Because when you go into that disciplined historical environment in a martial arts club, you sign up for boxing or you try BJJ, the coaches and senseis there give you their wisdom and their knowledge, and straight away you start to respect that art. And you don't want to use it in the street because now you don't have an ego. You know how much power and skill that you have, and you realize that appearances can be deceiving. Like the one random guy who looks like a little bit of an incel will twat you in your martial arts club, and the big Chad looking guy is like just stiff, and like you know for a fact he's not even a good fighter. Something clicks inside of your mind, you realize, oh shit, like some random guy in the street could like clean me out. So you become a better person with that. But there's something truly masculine about at least having the experience and the belief that you could potentially carry yourself. And of course, again, there could be someone with a weapon, there could be a big gang, but at the very least, if you have some experience, you at least know that, okay, at least in a fair fight, me versus this guy, I would probably win because I've been training for a while. That's the actual thought that saves you more than just run away. Shut the up, bro. I hate that advice. And I know that this sounds cliche, but joining kickboxing has heavily reduced my anxiety, and I would even say it's reduced my violent, intrusive thoughts more than meditation did. So it's something to bear in mind if you do find yourself constantly panicking and thinking that someone could attack you on the streets. It's very, very, very worth your while to just do the bullshit the logistics of learning where the club is and going to train and, you know, just paying the fee and thinking, you know, it's kind of expensive. The moment you get consistent in it, you will be eternally grateful. And you only need to do a couple of months of this type of training to get like a huge boost to your confidence and reducing your anxiety. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.